this is the time for all of us to be touched in a way we haven't been touched, to be transformed in a way we haven't been transformed before. This is the time where powerful things, changes are occurring as a maybe natural necessity of the evolution of humanity, or maybe because we have worked for many lifetimes, for many generations, to evolve as individual souls and as a collective consciousness to come to this very place. Let's call it we come to a certain state of maturation as a consciousness, as a collective. Let's assume, even though we see the challenges and we see the difficulties in the world and we see the conflict and we see the polarity in the world and we see the uncertainty, we see the fear and we feel the fear in the world. Let's assume for a second that is part of the maturation of humanity as a collective. What if we, for a moment, embrace all challenges as part of the evolutionary process? What if, for a moment, we embrace all that is occurring as a final test? It may not be final, though. It may just be a big test. But what if we say that next time I'm stuck in traffic, I will observe my thoughts? Next time I have a conflict with a friend or a loved one, I will observe my thoughts, my judgments, and my perception of that experience. And I'll see how I relate to that experience, to that moment. I'll feel more deeply, I'll observe with a bigger observational capacity what is happening. And from that observational capacity, I see my thoughts, my emotions, my judgments, the way I feel in my body. I see all of these things from that higher perspective of observation. And we hold that as long as we can without necessarily immediately responding or leaning into one of our judgments. We see that in the moment of the judgment, there is a prevalent, strong version of that judgment, the one that we always have taken side with, the one that we have been biased with, the one that we have been conditioned by. That's the one that we've been naturally going with. Let's allow that really strong one to be there for a second. In that moment of internal challenge, let's observe that really, really potent and strong one. And in that observation, realize that this is not you. It's just a perspective of you. That emotion of anger, that emotion of sadness, that judgment of this is not fair, or this is what I want, and this is not what I'm getting, or I am loved, I'm not good enough. Those are just aspects of thought, of perspective. They are not you. They are parts of you. And in that eternal observer, in that observational state, we have a bigger capacity to witness parts of our being rather than becoming parts of our being. When we lean immediately into that one part that is judging, that is emotional, that is feeling pain, or needs to live out a certain truth about ourselves, the moment we lean into it, we become it. We live it, we execute, we manifest from that place. We have assumed that role automatically. Now, that is easier said than done because some of these parts of our being have been so strongly embodied for so long, and they have almost become part of our identity. They have defined our ego construct, so much so that we have believed that to be who we are. And others have looked at us from that perspective. They have believed that that is who we are. The truth is, that's not who you are. The truth is, you're so much more than that. It may be a part of you. It may be a part of you that wants resolution, that wants completion, that wants to be seen, that wants to be understood. A part of you that wants to protect you and protect your loved ones, that wants the world to be a better place. Yet, remember, it is a part of you. That higher perspective of existence, that observational state of the eternal observer, carries no judgment. It just perceives, it observes with pure love and compassion, with a neutrality. The type of love I'm talking about is not the type of love we feel for a romantic lover. The type of love is a deep appreciation for existence. It's not a romantic conditional love. Oh, how cute. No, that's not it. It is pure presence. It's so expansive. It's a knowing that we all coexist together, that we are having a wondrous experience. Maybe even call it a mystical experience. The moment we start to distinguish between my emotions, my thoughts, my conditioning, the way I used to act, this is my perspective, this is my identity, and my ego says I need to do this, and then I do this, and if I don't do this, then I am X, Y, Z. I'm good enough, I'm not good enough, I have failed, I'm right, I'm wrong. All of these are direct expressions, yet they are not your true you. Your true self is expansive, can hold all of it, and it can hold so much more than a singular perspective. It can hold so much more than a singular emotion. It can hold so much more than a singular pain or a challenge. Your true self is expansive. Your true self is eternal. Your true self can feel it all, can see it all. Your true self can be witness and present to all of it. And it is. There is a significant power that emerges from nourishing that part of you that is that expansive, eternal observer. As through that observation, through that state of being, this unconditional love of creation comes into our existence. It spreads within our mind, our heart, our body. It manifests our physical existence. It provides us with energy. It provides us with thought. It provides us with emotion. And it also provides us with this duality, this separation of the unconditional love into many conditions, into polarity, into duality within ourselves. So we are both a non-dualistic being and a dualistic being at the same time. Yet rarely can we touch upon the non-dualistic, that eternal being that we are. We are always or consistently operating in this dualistic way. Because we have observed parents do that, our grandparents, we've observed society do that, we've observed so many humans that have lived before us do that. And it seemed so, well, that's the way it is. It seemed like that is the standard way of operating the human form. Yet, a great power is ready to be emergent within you. A great power is and has always been part of your being. The eternal self, the eternal observer. A seat of the unconditional love of creation. And that is a space that throughout these foundations, we're going to nourish and expand. We're going to fuel and strengthen. And that part of your being, the more it is nourished and developed, will actually fuel all parts of your other being. Now, that type of observation will allow the parts of our being that are dualistic, that are opinionated, that are judging, that are challenged, to be held while certain cycles of realization complete. Maybe as we are observing that strong thought, that strong perspective of emotion that we have, an important realization will come to surface. Oh, I'm thinking like this because my father used to think like this. And my father used to think like this because his father used to think like this. And his father was at war. And that's why he got to think like this, because he was conditioned by the wounds and the terrors of war. And here I am, carrying a wound, an opinion and perspective that is still a deep wound in my ancestry. That is an observational power. That is a realization that emerges from that place of observation. And when that realization emerges, something happens within us. That realization integrates. The charge that that perspective or that judgment used to carry, the charge that that emotion or that memory used to carry, becomes less charged. A realization is a learning, is an impulse for completion, is an impulse for closure. Closures are amazing. Closures feel a full body resonant yes. That is, if we are ready for that closure. Some of you may say, well, I feel like I'm still so strongly identified with this perspective that I hold that it defines who I am. And who am I without that? I'm not ready to close that part of me. And that's okay. No one's going to take it away from you. No part of you will be taken away from you. Nothing will be forced out of your system. Everything is an invitation. Everything is an offering. Everything is a possibility to evolve. And see it like this, that in moments like this, or in the transmissions, you're given an opportunity, an offering, an invitation to complete cycles of the past, to expand into greater states of perception and observation, and to embody a greater potential of being human. And naturally, what emerges as a result of this greater potential of being, that greater capacity, is a more unobstructed flow of energy. This love of creation fuels our body, fuels our mind, fuels our heart. Our heart, when it's fueled, it opens more. We have more emotional capacity. Our mind, when it's fueled and resourced, has greater mental capacity. Our body, when it's fueled and resourced, it has more physical capacity. So what we are doing here is, through the completion of cycles of the past, through this observation and through the realizations, we build alignment and capacity. We build a greater sense of well-being and being resourced in our being. Who doesn't want to be more resourced internally? The stories we used to attach to life, the stories we used to attach to the way we lived, to the person that we are, the person the others are, or all of these stories will remain stories. And believe it or not, they are stories of the past. If we relive a situation or a story of the past in the present, the only reason we are reliving it is so that we can complete the past. Reality says, or this creation says, we will return the story of yours to you because something in you is consistently asking to be confirmed about that story. So we'll give you that story again so that you can complete that story within you. Reality delivers. Always. Now, you can try to escape reality with many ways that society has given you options, coping mechanisms, stimulation, distraction, or even trying to exclude yourself from society and just be completely by yourself. There are many ways to escape reality. The reason we want to escape reality is maybe that which reality is bringing into our lives is too painful to look at. Maybe it feels overwhelming. Maybe we don't know how to approach it, how to hold it. Maybe we don't feel we have the capacity to see it and hold it as it is without immediately responding to it. Maybe we even have the same fear we used to have from that original stimulus of the past, that original wound will return when this reality comes back into our present. A fear of the past projected into the present, projected into the future. And occasionally, we want to escape that fear. We want to escape that pain, that potential pain. It's not even real pain. It's the fear of pain. But here we are developing a greater capacity within ourselves, being able to hold ourselves, being able to witness everything that we are, all wounds of the past, all conflicts of the past, all emotions of the past, all thoughts, judgments, wants, and desires, all pains and sufferings of our life, maybe of the lives of our ancestors. We are gaining capacity to see it all, to witness it all from this neutral state of being. A part of a being that is consistently fueled by this unconditional love, a life source of the eternal observer. And with this capacity, with this observational ability, we feel for the first time, maybe, that we can hold space for all our being. Maybe for the first time, we can feel that we hold space for all our emotions, felt and unfelt. Maybe for the first time, we feel that we can hold space for all our thoughts, the good ones and the bad ones, and the challenging ones. Maybe for the first time, we can hold space for all our desires, the ones that are accepted, appropriate, and also inappropriate. Maybe for the first time, we hold space for our light and our darkness. Maybe for the first time, we hold space for the life we live, the ego construct we have, and the lives we have lived. In this expanded capacity of being, all that you are is truly seen, is truly loved, is truly held. Maybe for the first time in your existence, you are consciously holding space for yourself, for the entirety of your being. No one else has to do it. The external world does not have to hold space for you. You are doing it. You have been given and reminded of the power that you have to hold that space for yourself. That is truly a great power to have. It is a power that's always been within you, yet we have sought it out outside of us. It seemed in some ways easier to see pieces of that power outside of us and say, I want that. That's going to complete me. Oh, wait a second. It didn't complete me fully. I need something else. That's going to complete me. Oh, that was also just a small piece of that completion. I need another thing from the outside that's going to complete me, and maybe that partner in the future will do that, or this particular job, or this amount of money, or this type of constellation will complete me. The truth is, nothing will ever complete you. Everything will be merely an approximation to feeling complete temporarily. And here we are, keep searching. The power of our being emerges from within. That is the power we are going to own. That is the power that is truly going to feel complete, whole, empowered. That is what I believe an enlightened state is. Yet it starts, it strengthens, it evolves from within. All other aspects outside of us are beautiful reminders. Even the challenging realities of life are reminders.